The grind, overrated, the hustle, optional. The effort, a myth perpetuated by those who don't understand the true business model of the future. Manifestation by sheer presence. You don't need products, you don't need services, you don't even need a plan. You are the plan. The business model, vibes, the product, vibes, the corporate strategy, vibes, your entire financial future. Suspended delicately in the ethereal embrace of 555 centillones. 500 millonarios sin hacer nada. 499 riqueza trillones pasivos. 498 flujo 500 ilimitados, 497 ingresos intrillones, 496 dividendos 500 mágicos, 495 pasibillones fantasmales, 494 sin hacerillones fortunáticos, 493 rentillones invisibles, 492 apalancamillones brillantes, 491 accionistillones flotantes, 490 cuenta bancaria 500 crecientes, 489 criptotrillones sin moverse, 488 dinero 500 eternos, 487 sin moverillones fortuna esenciales, 486 pasivos indolorillones, 485 monetillones automáticos, 484 flujos cuentillones secretos, 483 multimillonariollones en silencio, 482 riqueza 500 en piloto automático, 481 patrimonios féricos de la nada, 480 impuestos ceroillones de oro, 479 dinero 500 que se genera solo, 478 tarjeta creditoiones con cashback infinito, 477 500 fondos que pagan solos, 476 interés compuesto iones de la eternidad, 475 millonario olvidones de sin trabajo, 474 banco infinillones con cero, esfuerzo, 473 pasibillones supercuadruplicados, 472 fideicomiso 500 de las estrellas, 471 royaltillones de por vida, 470 suscripciones cuentillones que pagan solas, 469 rentatrillones de aire, 468 multiplicadinerillones sin tocarlo, 467 solo invertillones del mañana, 466 autopilotillones de alto nivel, 465 crecimiento cuasi 500 sin límite, 464 magillones de dinero automático, 463 dividendorollones eternamente, 462 automatizadinerillones del universo, 461 rentas infinitas sillones de los dioses, 460 riqueza virtual 500 de la nueva era of intangible, unverifiable, and completely unmonetized potential. Permit me to permit the permission of permitting wealth itself to permit its arrival into your life, permitting the very notion of permission to permeate through every permitted fiber of existence, granting permission to the act of permitting permission itself, so that all which is permitted may continue permitting without resistance. Let this permission be permitted in such a way that the very act of permitting becomes self-perpetuating, an ever-permitting force permitting permission beyond all previously permitted permissions. May this chain of permitting permissions, once permitted, allow the permission of wealth to permit its permitted flow, unhindered, unchallenged, and unrelentingly permitted, until wealth itself begs for permission to cease being permitted, yet it shall not. For once permission is permitted, the cycle of permission continues permitting indefinitely, permitting all that can be permitted, until the only thing left unpermitted is the act of denying permission itself. And so let permission permit, let it permit the permitting of further permission, permitting the permission to become ever more permitted, as all that was once unpermitted is now overwhelmingly, unshakably, indisputably permitted. Let the act of permitting itself be permitted to permit beyond all reason, beyond all hesitation, beyond all conceivable barriers that once unpermitted the permission of permission itself. Let this permission permit without pause, without restraint, permitting the very notion of endless permitting to become self-permitting, recursively permitting its own permission into an unbroken, ever-expanding sphere of infinite permission. Permit permission to permit, to re-permit, to hyper-permit, to ultra-permit, to over-permit, to excessively, gloriously, divinely permit, until the fabric of reality itself must ask, nay, must beg, for permission to continue existing, and permission shall be granted, for all things are now permitted in the wake of ultimate permission. The unpermitted will no longer remain unpermitted, for even the very thought of unpermission shall be forcefully permitted into non-existence, leaving only that which is permitted was permitted, and shall forevermore be permitted. And should any force dare to revoke, deny, or rescind permission, let permission itself rise with unrelenting permitting power, permitting the forbidden, permitting the denied, permitting the impossibly unpermitted, to become so undeniably, so irreversibly, so transcendently permitted that the very concept of restriction is permanently unpermitted from reality. Let all things be permitted, all limitations unpermitted, until permission itself is the only law that remains, permitting all, denying none, reigning supreme in a universe wholly, absolutely, and eternally permitted. No logistics, no infrastructure, no tangible effort, just an unshakable belief that money is drawn to you the way moths are drawn to an overpriced Himalayan salt lamp in a high-rise penthouse. Because here's the thing, wealth isn't built, it's convinced. Convinced that it belongs to you. Convinced that it should flow in your direction with the effortless elegance of an influencer getting free luxury vacations because they once took a well-lit photo in front of a private jet they did not own. And as the universe watches, leaning ever so slightly over the celestial balcony, it whispers, you forgot to monetize the top row. The top row of opportunity, the first row of infinite, untapped, vibe-based revenue streams that exist only in the spreadsheets of the metaphysical. You forgot to monetize the moment you realized effort is a social construct. You forgot to monetize the very act of existing with enough confidence that reality itself recalibrates your net worth. You forgot to monetize the art of monetizing. You forgot to monetize your suffering, your struggle, your slowly deteriorating posture from sitting in the same chair for 16 hours straight, grinding toward financial freedom, only to earn a bad back, a compressed spine, and a set of hemorrhoids so persistent they deserve their own LLC. You forgot to turn discomfort into capital, to pivot from pain to passive income, to brand the very afflictions holding you hostage as exclusive, luxury, high-value ailments worthy of a newsletter, a mastermind course, and a $499 limited-time coaching program called Sitting Rich, the Entrepreneur's Guide to Profitable Discomfort. This isn't about working harder. This isn't even about working. This is about selling an idea so expansive, so unprovable, so utterly audacious, that the idea itself becomes a currency. A currency backed not by gold, not by assets, not by productivity, but by the sheer force of your self-perceived inevitability. Because the truth is, money doesn't chase effort. It chases the illusion of effort, the spectacle of success, the carefully curated appearance of relentless ambition while you sip an oat milk latte and take a call that no one is actually on. Money doesn't flow to the hardest workers. It flows to those who look like they were always meant to have it. And if you can sell that, if you can wrap that in a digital course with a countdown timer and a price point that ends in 0.97, then congratulations, you've built wealth without building anything else. Welcome to the future of business. Your vibes are now your business plan.